Hi, I am Karen Showwise. I teach English and journalism at the high school, and I'm just going to go over how to use breakout rooms in Zoom. So, before you even attempt to use breakout rooms, you should plan really well for the lesson that you want to use them with, and you should have a good idea who your groups are, and I would say have a list of students that you want in each different group. So, the first step is to decide your groups and also come up with your group names. And when I say group names, so you want to know what is the point of your groups. Maybe you are deciding that you're going to have some groups that are just helping students who aren't understanding a certain concept. So you might set up a room just about that concept. So let's say they're all in different parts of a paper or a project they're working on. So you set up troubleshooting rooms for each of the concepts. You can also decide to have co-hosts for each room, somebody else that's in charge that can mute students or that can take notes or present things on the screen to help other students. This works really well when you know the students well and you know which students are responsible and really good leaders and are not afraid to talk. So the way you do that, this is with my co-host, how I set her up all the time. But you can make any student a co-host, and then they have a lot of the same responsibilities that you have. They don't have all the responsibilities. They cannot select the rooms, and they cannot stop the rooms, but they can present to their group. They can mute people in their session, but you have to do it before you assign the rooms or it won't work. Okay, the next step. Step 3 is to click on the button that says Breakout Rooms on the bottom of your screen. So it looks like this. It's got the 4 things. And then once you have done that, you're going to set the number and name your rooms. And again, you can do this before you even start your Zoom. So you could, while the students are in the waiting room or 10 minutes before you're starting your Zooms for the day, set up your breakout room names and the numbers ahead of time. So then you're not wasting time when you're actually in the Zoom. If it's different for each class, then you'll just have to do it when you're in the waiting room for your different preps. But this does work well. And again, I would have it written on a piece of paper who's in what group so that you can just kind of look at it and then quickly put them in the groups once you start the whole Zoom. Okay, you can get some specific options for the rooms if you want. So here are some things I found. So you can move all participants into breakout rooms automatically when you start. I don't ever advise that. That's very random. You can allow participants to return to the main session at any time. I would keep that checked because if somebody's having a problem, they can put something in the chat, but I don't think it will get to you from the breakout room. So they would have to email you. So I would always allow them to return to the main session just in case they have trouble. You can set this. I haven't done this. Breakout rooms close automatically after 30 minutes. I haven't set a time limit. I think that would be for longer. You could do 10 minutes. So let's say you wanted to time them and you're having a competition between groups. So you could give all of them 10 minutes. So you could do that. And I think the countdown's really good. So I always give them a 60-second countdown to get back. You can make it longer or shorter. I also do something called a broadcast, which I'll show you later. Okay, step 5, assign the students to the rooms. You should have already made a list that you can look at. And here I am assigning them. So I've clicked on the room and then I assign them. So I usually do 3, maximum 4 per room. Okay, and then you're going to click to open all the rooms. And you'll just simply click open all rooms. And then they have some time to get in there. and then you're going to join a room. So I usually circulate. Sometimes I start on the last room, sometimes I start on the first room, or I might stay in the main screen for a while and I might look at the assignment they're given, because usually I'm in Schoology looking at if they've opened the assignment or not. And I can see which groups are struggling on that. So then I can go to that room first and say, hey, you haven't opened your assignment yet, or what are you guys doing? So you can wait and see, and that's a good thing to do. Okay, once you do join the room, your screen will look like this. Don't worry, you're not going to get lost. You've probably already done this before with other people or supervisors. Okay, and it always tells you once you're in the breakout room, and you'll see your face appear at the top. And then when you want to leave the room and go to another room, you'll click on the breakout room on the bottom again, and this will come up, and you click leave room, and then it will come up again. It will say leave meeting. Don't click leave meeting. You just want to leave the breakout room, and it will send you back to the main screen. And then you'll return to the main room and circulate to a new room. And again, it will show that. All right, when you return to the main room, it will tell you. And finally, once you're in the main room, let's say you've checked on all of them, they're doing what they're supposed to, or let's say you sent them there and you want to make sure when they first get in there, you can send them a message. Again, you're going to click on, at the bottom, it'll say breakout rooms, and you'll click broadcast a message to all. And then you type your message in the box. This one says, open your document, begin work. We will be around to check your progress. This is, there's two of us in this Zoom meeting. I was co-teaching. So, and then you can also broadcast like 2-minute warning, 5-minute warning, whatever you want to put. So you can do a couple broadcasts while you're in the main room. And then finally, when you're all finished, click on breakout rooms again and close all the rooms. Depending on what you set it to, it may give them like 60 seconds to get back. Usually that's the norm. And then once they're all back into the main room, you should go over any information you learned and then dismiss your students. Please note that your rooms will keep the same names and number for your next Zoom class if you're staying at the same Zoom link. So if you want to change up the names of the rooms for a different prep, you should keep students in the waiting room until you do that. I would have your room numbers and your names set ahead of time. That makes it easier. But you can do it during the Zoom, as I'm going to show you my sample Zoom that I did with one of my classes. I'm going to let you see that now. So I'm clicking on breakout rooms first. And then I'm setting the number of rooms. You can do this automatically or manually. Automatic will like kind of break it up according to how many students you have. So then you want to rename them. Now I did this during the Zoom, but you can actually name them ahead of time. Set all your rooms and have them named ahead of time so you don't waste time doing it during the Zoom. So while you have kids in the waiting room or between periods, you could have this done. And as long as you're in the same Zoom link, they stay the same. So I clicked yes, and I'm naming my second one. In this case, I had an Ed puzzle room, and I was going to have a worksheet room because they had a choice of assignments, but they all chose the Ed puzzle. So I just did Ed puzzle 1 and Ed puzzle 2. But if you have like different assignments that they're doing, you can have a different room for each assignment. You could have a help room, so people that are having trouble with Turnitin.com. If you had different groups for projects and they are all assigned different tasks for the projects and they're working together, you can name those rooms by the projects. So there's many different ways to do that. I've had as many as 8 rooms where I just had them partnered up when they were interviewing each other for a journalism assignment. So once you've done that, you open all the rooms, and then they will get notification to go into their breakout room. Just make sure you've instructed them that they'll be seeing this. And then you want to join some of the rooms. You don't want to just leave them in there. So, and it will look like that, joining breakout rooms. It does take a few minutes. And it'll tell you you're in there. So it's always directing you and telling you you're on the right track. So that's really important. And then when you leave the room, you do have to make sure you're careful that you don't end the meeting. So you'll click on breakout rooms again, and you click leave breakout room. Do not click leave meeting. And then it will take you back to the main screen. And then you'll see that you are now on the main screen. And I always mute students when they come in, so it has it muted. And that's pretty much it.